This video is for companies that are wishing to use GraphPad as part of their business process and to complete the contractor proposal. And I'm going to go through the entire process all the way from downloading the application from the App Store to configuring it with your own company information and logo and how you would use it. So we're going to start by just going out to the App Store and seeing how you find it. So to search for it, you've got a search screen that comes up and just type in GraphPad or GraphPad R7. You'll see the application. I've already purchased it. The application itself is free. However, to use it, you need to sign a monthly lease. And that lease is has a 7-day grace period, so you can actually start working with it. If you don't like it and you terminate the lease within 7 days, you won't be charged. So we'll go ahead and open the application. And at this point, it doesn't have any of your company information. And we'll go ahead and we'll show a new contractor proposal. And we'll see that it's got this default text up here. It actually tells you, these are the lines. This is how it's going to show for your company name and your address and your stuff. And you'll notice there's no logo over here. Go to the next page. And if we look at these lists of values, we'll notice that there's nothing really in them, right? So there's just a couple of dummy fields in here, and we go to another field, we'll see the same thing. So in order to configure it, first thing we're going to do is we'll go into the settings, and just scrolling down, we would actually set our company name and address. Now I'm not going to do that right here, just because it takes some time, but to get the logo, your logo into it, what we need to do is we need to get your image into the format that I use in order to use it throughout the application. So to do that, what I've done is I've actually gone and grabbed a screenshot already, and I've grabbed a screenshot of this Ramjack logo. Now, if I just drop it in there, you'll notice it's way too small, and you could zoom in and stuff, but it's going to be coarse. And what we need to do is we need to change it so that the import image size is as large as possible. And so now, I'll just delete what we've got here. Now if we import that image, we'll note it's a much better resolution, much easier to work with. So to get it in the correct format, what we're going to do is we're going to just select the area we want for our logo, and we would just go to Copy Group, and then hit Create Image. And what that does is it puts it in the image library in the correct format. And now if we go to our library, images, hit the I button, and select the image. If we change the image name from New Object to, press this field here, capital C Company, capital L Logo, and we'll type that in. Whoops, hang on a second. Capital C Company, capital L Logo. If we set that to that name and save it, now if we go back into the screen over here, we'll notice that our company logo is displayed. And when we open a new form, contractor proposal, and we scroll down, we'll see it's got, on each page, it's got our logo. And of course our address would be the address that we set up as well. Now, by default, these fields don't have any information. You can enter them yourself. So go to Countable Objects, which is the first group, select it, and hit the I button. And now we could actually put in the values we want. We can add and remove values and put in a cost. We would have to save after each page. The other option is to purchase a setup from me. And what I've done is I've actually emailed myself a setup. And so if we go to my email, hang on, go to done for this, and we look at that particular, that's this drawing. See, we want to go to, there we go, foundation repair. It's going to come in as a file. You'll see a small icon for GraphPad. If we press on it, we'll see that it allows us to open it within GraphPad. It's going to bring GraphPad up, and you're going to think, well, what happened? And what happened was these list values got populated. So if we go over here, now we see additional items in here. If we go to inspectable items, you will see, again, we'll see different items and services. We're going to see a whole bunch of stuff. Now, with the foundation repair setup, we also have, we'll go back to here, we'll have different libraries added. So we'll have foundation symbols, and we can see these foundation symbols. You could, again, change the text that's going to appear. You can actually change whether it's going to rotate and resize, etc. You can actually create another library and copy them all over if you'd like to do that as well. There's videos on all of this stuff. But we're also going to see that we have a drawing labels, which appears over here, and we have dimensions. So here's all your dimensions. So rather than having to type these in, you just select them and drop them on the drawing. So let's go ahead and start through the process of actually creating a proposal. We'll open up a new drawing. Now the first thing you want to do is actually save this under your naming convention to something that you know. So for example, a lot of times you can use your address, you can use the customer name, or if you're a larger organization, you might have a work order number. But you want to save this drawing as something that you wish. So save. It's going to bring you the field. Type in the save as. We'll say A1 just because I want to find it pretty easily. Okay. We'll notice the file name has changed down here. We can go ahead and start doing our drawing. Yeah, sorry, wrong field there. So we'll just go ahead and do a quick drawing. We'll notice that the length is actually kind of small. It's a 1 foot scale, so you probably want to change this to 10 feet. Now if we drop a dimension on there, we'll see it's 37 feet. If we're in line mode and we select a line, we can actually change the precise length. So for example, if I wanted at 37 feet 6 3/4 inches, well, hit the wrong symbol there, and 3/4 inches, return, we'll notice it automatically changes the length of the line to be that precise length. And the rest of drawing is graph pad stuff, so it's super easy to use. It does snap in alignment, etc. For foundation repair, so for example, we would just select and drop in a offset, and likewise we can change it to foundation symbols, and we can say, for example, select a line, select a symbol type. It's going to say, do you want it spaced at a maximum of 8 feet? Hit calculate and it'll pre-populate those, etc. So that's generally how the application works, and with foundation repair, drop in foundation crack, etc. So when we get to the second page, this is where we put in our customer information. Now notice it does have the company logo, it would have your company information. You would go ahead and type in the customer name. So we'll say, I don't know, Grover. I don't know, somebody's name, etc. And this value is going to be populated on the third page as well. Have the address. And this is where our lists come in. So when we loaded the foundation repair library, we got these additional values in our list values. So we could say peers. You would type in the number of peer. So say for example you had, I don't know, 59. The peers can have a cost associated with them that you'd set up in the lists over here. Countable items, peers. You'd put in that cost value, etc. Then our services, so we pick a service field. So for example, exterior wall restraints, whatever the cost was. And as you type in these costs, they're going to be summarized going down in this final field. You can sign this page, right? Notice it, hit save. Come on, you can do it. Notice it populates a date for you. It's also, when you go to the second page, that was 10,040. You'll notice that the total cost is populated for you. You can fill in the any other fields that need to be populated, etc. You'll notice that the name, your address came across, the client's address would come across as well, etc. And that's pretty much how that's going to look. And finally, what you're going to want to do is email it to your customer. You would just go and we'll go ahead and type in my email address so we can see what this is going to look like. You can have it set so you have an automatic blind copy, so it blind copies your office at the same time, and hit send. And what we're going to do now is we're going to look over in the email and we're going to see what that looks like. So let's see. We've got another one. Let me bring this back up. It should download it. There it is. Has our drawing name. And here's our drawing, right? So it's got our company logo. It's got the drawing that we put in. Any signatures we populated will show up, and our contract. So that's pretty much everything that the application does and how it works. I demonstrated how you set it up. I realized I went pretty fast, but the nice thing about a YouTube video is you can back up and scroll and go forward again to actually see those parts slower or multiple times. But that shows you the full capability. You can actually do a complete contract on the iPad while on the site, and email it to your customer with his signature, and the entire process is closed. Any changes to this form cannot be done on the iPad itself. You'd have to contact me. I actually use a tool on my desktop to actually make the changes, but I try to make that pretty reasonable. And it's pretty easy to increase the size, for example, of the logo, or to add another line of text. But if you wanted, anything else changed, we'd have to figure out what it would cost to do that. And that's my presentation. Hopefully this will be useful to people looking at GraphPad. Thank you very much.